You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast, delivering the knowledge in all things fitness business. We help gym owners win. Here are your hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Engston.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio, Scottsdale, AZ.
Sunny Scottsdale.
It is sunny. Joined as always by my co-host, the Maverick of Magnitude, Randy Engston. What is up, guy?
Hey, dude.
We're here. That whiskey's looking pretty good right about now. It's Friday for us, so you guys are getting this one on a Tuesday. Yeah, we're gonna drink that later.
I like that idea.
That's some good stuff right there.
Let's drag out the intro just for Casey and Jerry. Let's just make this like 3 minutes long.
Oh, yes. So we heard from our friends Casey and Jerry Washak out in the Fit and 42 of Palm Springs and Texas. We have the second location.
Kingswood?
Kingwood, Texas.
I think it's Kingswood.
They say they fast forward these because they don't like hearing the names.
We should just do it all. Let's just start doing it at the end then. We're gonna just deliver all of them to Casey and Jerry.
Yeah, let's
just do that.
Let's do a cut of it. A couple things to note here right off the jump. We are launching our client lifecycle automation course at clacourse.com. You've heard us talk a lot about automations, how it can help your business, save your business. We're getting tons of great feedback from the workshop.
Oh, it's insane.
You just today, guys are out on the road doing a delivery. What is he, driving a boat or something?
No, so David Bender, he's working with kids doing something right now, but he's got a trailer of their kayaks or canoes. So he's bringing those out for the kids, but it was like 7 or 8 of them he was towing out there. But he's got a 7-hour trip.
Yeah, and he talked about what he just converted 7 new clients at 250 or
249 I think it was, and then something that's just as cool is the fact that he's driving.
Yep.
And he's got 4 appointments booked while on the road already.
Yeah.
For the future.
That's what automation will do for you. So he's pumped. And we really wanted to do this course because really it's tough to get out, right?
Yeah.
Especially gym owners who are in the day-to-day. Those ones are the ones that need the automation. So let us get a course out. Give me some time. I've got to get these videos. I'll probably jump on it this weekend. I can knock it out. And then we've got tons of back-end work to get that thing
fulfilled.
off. We got a great affiliate program that's going to go with that too. So you can earn some money if you want to help sell and promote it. So that's happening. We also are lining up another workshop. So probably sometime in April. We're looking at some dates there.
Why don't you go to pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation if you're interested in the next workshop. I know some of you guys from the last workshop said right off the bat, put me on that list. I'll be at the next one. Yep. We'll get that information out. I'll update the dates on that page as we confirm everything there.
Cool. All right, so let's jump into this episode. So today, this topic kind of comes from some of the calls we've been having, some of our private clients, and something that probably affects a lot of gym owners, a lot of entrepreneurs out there. And it really comes down to what to do when you get stuck.
Yeah.
Right? So we all have tons of things to do. We all sometimes know the plan. Sometimes you don't know the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you choose to either do things that maybe might be difficult sometimes to do, but they're in the best interest of the business, or you kind of settle into what you know and nothing changes.
Yeah, the routine, the comfort. And right off the bat, this is why we address mindset the first week of our coaching program, is to just ensure that the coaches, or excuse me, the gym owners making the changes for their business are ready and willing to do so. It's the difference between being reactionary and intentional, and that's the biggest thing. Is when you're trying to move the needle, and you develop that list of action items you need to take, you need to do them.
Yeah, you got to do them.
You have to do them, and it's difficult, and we understand that. And that the one thing that we drive home with our clients is the fact that coming into that situation, a lot of gym owners feel alone. They feel like they're on the island. They don't have that plan. But once you have that, and once you have a team, and once you have people to run with, the difficult part is still taking that action, or it seems to be at least.
Seems to be the sticking point.
Yep.
Yeah, and that can happen to any of us. There's been times where, even myself, where I know there's stuff I should be doing, and I just either avoid it, or it's just you know what, let me just kind of go do this for now, and I'll get back to that, and it just gets longer and longer. This past week, I know that I need to do those videos, but I didn't think it would be attractive to have a raspy voice on those videos, so I kind of made a conscious decision not to do that. But now we're further behind getting that course out, so that now it's all going to pile up for me on the weekend, and I'm just going to do it this weekend, and we'll be done. But that's just how it happens, right? So you've got to. I think entrepreneurs, gym owners are really good about creating ideas. I think they're idea people.
Visionaries,
Yeah, visionaries. And even maybe even getting it off the ground sometimes is sometimes a good thing for entrepreneurs that they can do that. But then it's the delivery and the mundane, the 20-mile march of the things that just you got to do.
Yeah, check the boxes. Yeah.
And you have to do that. And so it's kind of, prioritizing is one.
Yep.
What would you say, some good tips for people that are in this, they know they need to do something, like say, for instance, get semi-private training off the ground in their facility and launch it. How do even let's take it from that step. Like, what would you tell somebody if that's their goal?
Okay. Yeah. Right off the bat. I mean, this is relevant because this is a lot of this is the process that we're doing with a lot of gym owners. Right off the bat, write that list of action items that you know. Do it backwards. So, small group is in the gym. What does that look like? Okay. What does your staffing structure look like? How are you paying your staff? What are their hours? How is that figured out? Yep. How are you charging your clients? Okay. All of those things need to be figured out before we can actually implement that.
Yep. That's so you picture with the end. What is the end product going to be?
Exactly, right? Like, put yourself in that situation. This is it working. This is how it's supposed to be in the business, okay? Well, now I always have everyone go backwards, okay? To where we are today. What are like we said, what are those items that need to be in place in order to fulfill that service? Okay. Staffing, pay, how we're charging our clients, scheduling. I mean, all of these things.
Maybe
let's just
programming.
say perfect, right? The programming. Let's write 4 or 5 items. Then let's prioritize them. Let's work backwards to where we are today. If we know that there's something on that list that is held up by another item on that list, well, that tells you which one you got to do first.
Right.
And so you start to begin to kind of prioritize your small list of things to do, because ultimately there's probably 40 things that you could come up with that need to be in place. But 5 of them are important. 5 of them need to happen, and they need to happen before all the little details.
Sure.
So create that list, prioritize that list, and then not only prioritize by importance, but again, agenda, right? Like, certain things have to happen before other things can happen. And the biggest thing, in my opinion, once you have that list, is kind of forget the rest of it. Just the one item in front of you that you need to begin with is the only thing that you need to worry about right now.
And you get that done.
Check that box, and then you move to the next step. And you just go one by one. There's something about writing a list and being able to cross things off that, as an entrepreneur, it just keeps us on task and moving forward. This is where there's power, because last week at our mastermind event, I taught on how your not to-do list, right?
Yeah.
Gym owners, you guys are pulled in a million different directions. The afternoons, guaranteed your you need those little course corrections and things like that. When you have a list to be working from, understand that every single time that you're doing, in my opinion, when you're working on something that's not that list, you're moving further away from that goal. Mm-hmm. So if you're in a reactionary state, instead of being intentional, move towards moving the needle versus moving it away, growth or decay, if you may, everything that's distracting you is taking you, not only delaying this, but also taking you one step back.
Yeah.
Because it's time, right? And being productive, shortening the amount of time it takes to hit goals, all of that happens when you're really clear on the ultimate goal, and then you could prioritize that list of things to do.
Yeah, I like the list. And when you start knocking off items, it builds momentum.
Oh, like, that's the enjoyment, working towards a goal. Like, as humans, any area of life, when you have something to work towards, that's what you get deeper and deeper. I mean, think about us in the fitness realm. Once that client starts to see the result, holy shit. Like, that's when that fire starts. You know what I mean? Like, they lose that first 10 pounds. They're like, it's working.
Yeah, momentum.
Exactly.
Momentum.
And then, like a train, right? Once you're in momentum, it's hard to stop that momentum.
Right. Yeah, and that happens to everybody. So what you're saying is, look at the end goal. What does the final product look like? What are the most important things in that final product that need to happen, and then work backwards. What's the step before that? What's the step
Correct.
before that? Where are we at today? Okay, I need to do this to get to that. Finally, I can get to this big thing, and then that's done, and then move on to the next one.
Because there's an old like saying, it's about, you eat an elephant one bite at a time or something like that, right? Like the idea of, okay, bringing in small group into your gym is overwhelming. It's just such a big undertaking. It's I don't know how to do this. There's so many things that need to be in place. So rather than just worrying about, I need to redo my schedule, a gym owner is over here thinking, I can't freaking do a damn thing because there's so much to do.
You get stuck, paralyzed, right?
Yeah, it's paralysis by analysis, right? It's just the whole idea is just so big when all they need to worry about is one small thing.
Yep.
Like anything you're trying to do, any change you're trying to make in your business, it comes down to small actionable steps.
Yep.
Every goal,
and
we get there just do one thing.
We can talk about that big, the exercise that we did in the Iron Circle Mastermind, the not to do list. It was like eliminate, delegate, right?
So
or automate.
Yeah, it was well, just front to back, right? So in order to figure out the solutions on what you need to do in your day, where you want to be spending your time, sometimes it's easier to eliminate the things you shouldn't be doing. So I had the Iron Circle do that activity, your not to-do list. Write down 10 items in your day-to-day that you're doing that you can eliminate, delegate, or automate. And right from that list, I mean, think of how many things. Most of the gym owners in that room were pretty good because they're in that room for a reason. But we all get stuck in the day-to-day. I mean, it's really easy after those events. 6 months or 3 weeks or 2 days. Sometimes after those things, you're right back in the suck, and you forget everything you were talking about. But once you can start to offload those tasks, that's where you have your time for your action items, the things you need to be doing every day.
And it's not just in the business. There was a lot of stuff in the personal life.
Absolutely.
For instance, like grocery shopping. If you're out spending an hour to go grocery shopping, you can automate and have that delivered to your house. Is it lazy? No, I think it's being more productive personally. And everything that I've ever done, probably from the last 8-9 years now, is always time focused. So if I, even if I have to pay somebody to
buying
do
time,
I value what I'm doing in my time, moving the needle in the business more than maybe doing my landscaping.
And that's a
Something
big thing.
like that,
Absolutely. And that's a big thing that entrepreneurs don't value of themselves, is they think that just because they can,
they do.
I say it all the time, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And, like when you're looking at your payroll and there's a task that you step in and do because you don't want to pay somebody else to do it. Well, that's fine, but you're a business owner. Your time is worth the highest value of that organization, not free.
I think it's definitely a mindset thing for the owners to understand that your time is going to be the most valuable, and if you treat it as such, let's just say for round numbers, your time's worth $500 an hour. Okay, $500 an hour is my time, and again, this goes even back into the personal life. If cleaning your house takes 2 hours of your time, is that worth $1,000? No, you pay somebody $100 and they come in and clean the house. But don't just sit there and watch them. Go do something that's more productive, and that's the kicker, right?
That's the big part.
And I think for people in general, with this work ethic is high, like, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to, mow the lawn, I'm going to do the landscaping, I'm going to paint the house, I'm going to clean the house, I'm going to get the groceries, I'm going to do all this stuff. Wipe all that stuff out, you buy yourself the time, and then use that time to generate revenue.
Income producing activities, yeah.
And I don't know if it's a mindset thing, like, I shouldn't be spending money, I could do this myself thing.
But the only situation that you can be in when you have that mentality is the fact that you don't value your own time.
Right.
And once you give yourself the value of an hour for your own personal time, every single one of those things now becomes a losing situation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I had a mentor years ago that told me, it was really simple, and I don't even remember who it was, but it was, do what makes you money, do what makes you happy, outsource the rest.
Cool.
And I thought, like, right off the bat, I was like, that makes a hell of a lot of sense, especially in the entrepreneur realm. Move towards, things that move the needle, move towards what moves your, desire, heart, passion, whatever. The rest is just busy work, or the rest is just there, right?
Yeah.
It's the tasks that have to get done. When you don't need to be doing those things, delegate them.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things I automate in my life. Number one, I automate all my bills. My bills get paid on automation.
I'm going to say exactly.
So I think I went back, we pay our landlord weekly. It comes out every Friday, and it's just gone. Like, it doesn't, I don't think about it. And I haven't had to think about it for 10 years now because I've set that up on automation. It's like, I can't imagine writing a damn check and putting it in the mail. Like, no.
I have never owned a checkbook.
You don't need one.
That's right.
I mean, you need a checking account.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
But to physically write checks, like,
Yeah.
it's a pain in the ass when you do need one, though.
I don't, yeah. So what else do I automate? Obviously, a lot of stuff on Amazon can be automated and delivered. Like, there's a great example. The one of our mics went out one time, and I could have gone over to Best Buy and bought one, but I did it on Amazon Prime Now.
It was here in an hour?
It was here in an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to...
We did the same thing with one of our webinars. You're like, why don't you jump on? And I was like, oh, I don't have a camera. I was like, wait, Amazon Now.
Yeah, if you need the camera or if you need the thing, it's going to take you an hour to go back and forth. Like, do other stuff.
I stayed busy while that got, exactly.
Yeah. And that's constant. Everything that we do, or I do at least, is just like I'm buying time. I don't leave for lunch. I either make it or I have it delivered in. And I'm just, I'm thinking about driving to a restaurant, eating lunch.
Sitting down, stopping. No. I mean, just the swing of momentum for your day. Hitting pause to just go do something else like that, and then having to restart, especially in the afternoon. Like, let's say you sit down and you have a decent lunch. There is nothing about moving back into work that's going to, like,
right.
Like, you have to get that train moving again. I would much rather keep that momentum and just sail through the rest of the day.
Definitely, yeah. So this podcast right here was to kind of like kick everybody in the butt. Can maybe change your mind about what you're doing and spending your time. Your time is the most valuable in the business as the owner. As maybe you're a trainer listening to this, and that's your business. Maybe you're working for somebody else, but that your time needs to be spent on like income producing activities or things that make you happy. Outsource the rest.
And here's the reason that it comes back to it. I mentioned to our mastermind group, discipline equals freedom. And structuring your day, forcing your income producing activities early in the day, making sure that you have a list of action items every single day, setting your intention in the morning, moving into action, you're going to find so much more time for the other things in life that you actually do desire to do. You can love your business and want to work here all the time, but this is a vessel for the quality of life you're trying to have. This isn't the end goal. And so once you force all of those priorities within your workday, you're forced. It's a time multiplier. You're going to have more time when you want the time, so you can do anything else.
Definitely.
More income producing activities, more time with your family, whatever it may be.
Whatever it is. I like income producing activities myself.
Yeah, I know.
Personally.
Yeah, it's because we like moving the needle.
I like to move the needle. It's think about business as a scorecard is your P&L.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like I'm sure you see it, but you have plenty of time with your daughter. Your family, like, you know what I mean? You don't miss like the activities at school and things like that because you set up a system and structures and you know how to do that.
I was talking to a good friend of mine actually on the way into work today, my buddy Scotty Raj. I don't know, he doesn't listen to this, he's not in this industry, but we were talking about where we're at in life and the businesses, and he was working for Discount Tire, and he was working there because he was going to get his own store and all the hours he was spending, but then like everything else fell apart. Like his marriage was crap and everything. So anyways, he took this new position to where he now times his day out because he's an outside sales rep for another tire company, and he prioritizes. It's all about time. So he'll hit his long runs in the morning, and then he'll work himself way back to the house, and then he's at home at 2-3 o'clock, picks the kids up, and everything's gold.
My buddy, Big Ron, California.
Yeah.
The damn guy's on a golf course every day at 1. Like he's got a full-time job.
So that's what makes him happy.
But that's where his enjoyment is. Yeah. Like his job allows him the flexibility of get your shit done and do what it's the rest of your life. His stuff's done every single day, and he moves on and does whatever the hell he wants with the rest of his time.
Yeah, and we got to talk. I was talking to Scotty about what the position I'm in, and like I don't have to be anywhere, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
he's like, man, that would be amazing.
With the exception of us doing this, we could be anywhere in the world, and we could do this anywhere in the world. But
yeah, I don't have to be anywhere, and that's a freedom. That's a good feeling. Although, trust me, I'm here, and I'm doing work. I'm not just twiddling my thumbs. And sometimes I think our coaches think that I just come in, collect a check, and go home. I fly in, shit on everybody, and then leave, kind of thing. In fact, they kicked me out of the team meeting. The team meetings on Tuesday. Tim, listen, people don't really like speak up as much when you're in the room. So Jack said, hey man, why don't you just take the Tuesday meetings off for a while?
You know what that is? That's the equivalent of Rick getting locked out of his facility.
Yeah.
It's which is a good thing, guys. This is what we teach business owners. Like, Tim's desire is to not have to be in his fitness business 24 hours a day.
You gotta kick me out, man.
So you're one step removed, but that's a good thing. Delegation. You've got people in the roles doing the work that otherwise would be on your shoulders. Yeah. Like, that's the beauty. This is a I'm that's working.
Ooh, I'm gonna throw a little teaser out. Can I throw a little teaser? Hey, anybody that's still listening to the show right now. So, we had Zach on the podcast. God, I don't know what episode.
November, I think. It was October, November, somewhere in there.
Man, so I had our fitness director, Zach. So if you haven't heard the show, we talk about Zach. Zach's really doing what I used to do. So he runs the gym. He does the sales. He coaches the coaches. He's the guy here, and all the clients go to him. They used to come to me for everything. I couldn't catch a breath. There was always somebody in my office when I was in the front, right? And he came to me, I guess 3 days ago. He's like, man, listen, we got a ton of great feedback, Tim, on that show. And I've been telling him, hey, everybody's been asking me, how do I find a Zach?
A Zach, yeah.
How do I find a Zach? Because without a Zach, the owner is in the role. And so Zach came to me and said, look, I'm writing a book called Directing Fitness, and I want to put it out there for all your clients, and they can read about how to find and coach a fitness director so they can remove themselves out of the business. I said, man, that's one of the best ideas I've heard in a long time. And he goes, man, then maybe it can, help coach your gym owners or even coach the fitness
directors directly,
in the facility so they can have a guy that they can then replace themselves with. I said, man, I think that would go over really well. Yeah, because that is a missing piece to a lot of the businesses. Rick May always kind of talk about him. He had his Joe. Joe was his Zach. And then he had an Anthony and these guys that were the guy or girl. It doesn't have to be a guy. Obviously, it could be a girl that runs the show where you're, as the owner, only really talking to that one person, and then you go on and do other things.
Absolutely.
And that's massive. So stay tuned for that. His book is, I read a couple chapters, and it's good. He's a funny writer. He actually is. I was going to ruin it for her, but the very first sentence in the whole book says, my wife is hot. And then it goes into why that's important. It's like, holy cow, what a funny. So that'll be a good read. I'm excited. So I'm going to help him get that published and stuff. And I think that would be just another piece to ProFit to help gym owners win. We can have the director being coached by our director, and boom.
Well, we have our systems in place to teach teams. I mean, we have a sales program that can train your sales team. I mean, that's part of our coaching program. We have that as a standalone service or offering.
We'll bolt that into
fitness director
system.
training.
Yeah,
sure.
Ooh, so I'm excited to bring that on. I know a lot of people have been asking, like, how do we find a Zach and stuff?
That's
a Zach that not a Zach, but like a employee that thinks that way. That's the difference. He's a business-minded thinker, and he's happy to be in that role. He's not trying to go and take the clients and go down the street and move another, which is one of the biggest fears with developing your coaches is that they're going to go and run off and be your competition.
It's because it's so common.
Yeah, it's very shady out there. I don't like it. This is a weird industry. I remember when my dad was working here, and he comes from all the other industries, not fitness. He's like, man, this is really weird what's going on. You got people stealing other people's stuff. You got, everybody under the sun trying to do the same thing as the other guy. There's ethics are out the window.
The egos are insane.
It's just a strange
professionality
thing.
Or professionalism's gone.
Yeah, most of the time it is. So we're looking to change that. That's why you're listening to this show. You listening to get ideas and move the needle.
Move the needle, yeah.
So take this episode, figure out what the end goal is, chop it down into chunkable items, work backwards to where you are today, and just start crossing items off of a list. And you can do it on Excel or whatever, or put it on a whiteboard. I like pad, that's how I operate, a little pad. But hopefully this helps you. Just a great idea that just stemmed out of some of the calls that we had. And, keep an eye out for that course, clacourse.com, and our next workshop coming up in April. But other than that, guys, keep changing lives. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.